It's that time of year again. School is started back or is in the process of starting back. So, all of our kids and our teachers and staff are all going back to school. I think our county school started last week and our city school is starting this week. But it's a day that so many people have been waiting for. Some people have been dreading. Some are excited about it, and some are just really nervous about it. To be honest, as a parent, my feelings are all over the place. I'm really unsure how I feel about everything that's going on. This is a big year for me and my wife. Our three boys are experiencing a lot of first. We've got a ninth grader, we've got a sixth grader, and we've got a fourth grader this year. So we've got three boys in three different schools, and all of them are experiencing high school for the first time, middle school for the first time, and being in elementary school by himself for the first time. So and I know we're not the only parents dealing with a lot of nervousness about us and a lot of worry and kind of some anxiety that kind of goes along with going back to school. But, parenting has never been easy. Fun? Sure, it is. Easy? I don't believe it is. And I say that because I believe there are a lot of challenges to parenting. I believe there are blessings to parenting, but I believe there's also challenges. And I believe with every generation, there can develop new challenges, challenges that maybe people have never faced before. Some of them have been faced before. Um, think about it. So our kids, maybe your kids, my kids, or your grandkids, or just maybe kids they've been out of school for over 5 months, I believe. A lot of them have been quarantined at home. Their parents have been at work, so maybe they've been at home by themselves, and schedules have been interrupted like never before. Routines that we had are not routines anymore for most homes. Kids aren't getting the social interaction. They haven't been getting that. That's really something that they need. And on a side note, I mean, think about it. Most kids aren't getting the Bible education that maybe they were once getting. And a lot of these kids don't understand what's going on. They don't really know what's going on. Sure, they hear about it, and they maybe hear mom and dad talk about it, and maybe their friends talk about it, but maybe they really just don't know what's going on. The only thing they know is, I can't touch other kids. I have to stay away from other kids. I can't touch them. I have to stay 6 feet away from them. Some places I have to wear a mask. Maybe they know that there's a virus going on, that it's extremely contagious, and that it affects every single person differently. My point is this: there's so many kids right now, your kids, again, your grandkids, kids in the church, and they're nervous. They're confused. They're facing a lot of different emotions in their life right now because, like yours, their life too has changed drastically over the last few months. And so now they're returning to school. And as they're returning to school, we need to be reminded that what they're returning to looks nothing like it did this time last year. So it's something new for them. And again, there's so many mixed emotions that go into that. And then there's the staff and the teachers. My heart goes out to them right now. It really does. You think about it, it's drastically different for them too. I can imagine how stressful their job was before this, trying to inspire younger generations, trying to implement within them vital information that they need to know for life. I love our three boys, but I can't imagine having 20 or 30 in a classroom every day and trying to teach them. I have a certain respect for teachers. And when this pandemic came, they had to quickly adjust their entire way of teaching. Gratitude for teachers and for school staff often goes unspoken. We can often forget really how vital and important they are to our community. They are to our families, and they are to our children. So what I want to invite you to do is throughout this week, I want you to take a few minutes, and I'm going to do this too, but we're going to take a few minutes every time, take a few minutes every day, just a little bit of time, and we want to pray. Pray for the kids going back to school. As I said, a lot of them are nervous, they're anxious, they're scared. Some of them are super excited, but regardless of how they feel, regardless of where they're going to school, whether it's homeschool, whether it's high school, whether it's college for the first time. They need your prayers. They need your prayers more than anything. Not only that, but I would say you probably know some kids in your life, whether it's your grandkids, whether it's probably kids at church, or maybe kids in your family, or maybe your neighbors. Um, you know, call, text their parents, check in on them from time to time, see how they're doing, see if there's anything that you can help with. And also pray for the teachers, pray for all the staff that are going to be back into to the school, to the schools here in our community. Pray God's hand of protection, pray God's hand of safety upon them. You know, in Psalm chapter 46, verses 1 and 2, those two verses have been a long time passage that we go to for one of the greatest reminders, where the passage says that God is our refuge and He is our strength. He is always ready to help us in times of trouble. And so, therefore, it says we will not fear. Now, we're not sure exactly what's being talked about there. We're not sure exactly what's going on, but we do know one thing for sure about Psalm chapter 46. It reassures those people that are troubled, that are distressed, that are disturbed, that are nervous, that are anxious, that are just simply worried, that regardless of what is going on in this world, regardless of what happens in this world, you can trust in God for protection. You can trust in God for peace, that He is always ready to help in times of trouble. You know, life consists of so many unknowns, so many ups and so many downs, and you know, we enjoy those up moments. We celebrate and we laugh and we cry in those up moments, but the down moments, that's what causes us to worry. Those things are what causes us to be anxious and to be nervous. But through this entire psalm, it reminds us about the downside of life, that God is always there, and that God is always in control, no matter what happens in our life. So again, I hope you'll join me this week, and let's pray for our students. Let's pray for our teachers. Let's pray for the staff members. Let's pray for all those that are involved in our school systems. And let's pray God's hand of protection and safety around them. Thank you. At the trumpet call, so lift your voice. It's the year of Jubilee.